Okay. Oh. Hello humans! You can see by the title, I'm doing a book haul! Yay! And I haven't done one since July, so there are so many books. I'm just gonna show you all the books I've purchased since my last book haul, which I'm going to leave linked up there. Confident up there. I'm going to categorize them. So first I show you all the books I've already read. Then I'm going to categorize them by genre and also show you the books I'm currently reading. Two contemporaries I bought since my last book haul and I read pretty much right after the last book haul are Elmore Park and The Upside of Unrequited by Becky Albertalli, and this is by Rainbow Rowell. So yeah, I talked about this in my July wrap up, which is I think the last wrap up I filmed on my channel. Oh my god, I haven't read any. Jesus Christ. Okay, I have to show you what's going on so you understand why I'm always freaking out. Like, it's a freaking snowstorm out there. The next two books I've purchased during my autumn holiday, and these were also one of the last books I kind of read last year. So that's Love Her Wild by Atticus and One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. This book is on my top 10 list of favourite books actually. This is not, because there's one rule you have to fulfill while reading this, and I don't really want to like set rules for you. But if I were you, read it in one go. If you just read like a couple of poems, the poems for themselves alone aren't so good. But if you read them as the poetry collection that this is, it's a very good book. And this one is surprisingly good, so go check that out. Last book which I bought and read is Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappia. I just recently finished this book. This is my first book I read this year and I enjoyed it. It was really cute story, but cute isn't actually the word I'd use for it. While it was cute, it had a lot of serious topics which this book dealt with, and that's anxiety, also death and stuff, and there are a lot of heavy topics in this book. I highly recommend. For two I'm currently reading. One of them is They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera, and I talked about how I wanted to read this in my last video, and I'm currently reading it. I'm currently really enjoying it. Here I'm going to give you a plot summary because I think it's a really good book and you should really check it out. It's about these two guys who, in a world where you get a call on the day that you're dying, which tells you that you're dying in the next 24 hours. There's these two boys who receive that call, and then they meet through a last friend app, which just basically gives you like your last friend, and they just try to live that last day to the fullest before they die. I'm not yet at the part where they die. Fuck, but I really love the characters, so go check that book out, it's really good. I'm just going to go through the next category quickly because it's school books which I bought. And this one is a poetry collection by Rainer Maria Rilke. It's called Du musst das Leben nicht verstehen, schöne Gedichte. You don't have to understand life. That's the title of this poetry collection, and I'm reading it for my German finals because I have to pick a couple of poems from here. And the other school books I bought, there are two Italian books. One is Cagna al Vento. That's one book I have no clue what it's about, to be honest. And then Io non ho paura by Niccolo Amaniti. Also two books which I need to read for my Italian finals, and I hope they aren't difficult because I'm so not in the mood for reading difficult Italian books. Like, no thanks. The last school book I bought is The Complete Fairy Tales of Grimm, like the Brothers Grimm. Obviously in German, since they were German and they wrote their books in German, so which I'm also reading for my German finals. Only a couple of them. I marked the one I wanted to read. I'll read very famous one because I was just too lazy to look up different ones, but I'm surely interested in reading the entire thing. So the next book are my fantasy / sci-fi books which I bought, most of them YA. So the first book is one I bought in Scotland because the cover was so pretty, and it's Ink by Alice Broadway. Look at this beautiful cover. Oh my god, it's so shiny and shimmery, and the back is really pretty as well because there's not much written on it, and I personally am a huge fan of book covers where there's basically nothing written on the back. Here's just the truth will get under your skin, which is ironic because I think it's about this girl who lives in a world where everything you do or everything you say, it just appears on your skin like a tattoo. So yeah, I think she has a secret, but I don't really know more about this book. Next book I bought is one I've been wanting to read for ages, and it's Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. There's a movie coming out, and oh my god, Steven Spielberg is directing the movie. It must be good. Like, a lot of people my hair needs to stop. Anyways, a lot of people have told me that this is an amazing book. Next book I read, yeah, sure. Is A Closed in Common Orbit by Becky Chambers. This is the second book in the Long Way to a Small Angry Planet series. I don't know if the series is actually called that way, but this is the second book in that series, trilogy, I don't even know. I haven't read the first one yet. The next book I have here is Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. I don't really know much about this, except that I really want to read it. And a lot of people said that it's amazing. And it's about two guys, and one being the worst chosen one ever. And it's kind of satire, like it makes fun of that chosen one trope, which sounds interesting enough. Then the next book I bought is Wonder Woman Warbringer by Leigh Bardugo. First of all, if it weren't for Leigh Bardugo, I would never be picking this book up, because whilst I enjoy watching superhero movies, I don't really have an interest in reading about superheroes. I don't know why. Because probably they have this hero complex, which is derived from their name. I hate the hero complex. It drives me nuts. Stop trying to save everyone, for God's sake. They can take care of themselves, and if they can't, well, they have to learn. It's never been a good thing to want to save everyone. It has always led to more chaos and drama. I'm reading this for Leigh Bardugo because she is my goddess and my queen, and I am positive that she will make me like this book, even though I'm not the biggest fan of Wonder Woman herself, because I've seen the movie and I was like, great. And plus, I also bought this because I'm planning to do a buddy read with Amber from Book Palavan and Helena from Helena Reads. So yeah, that's exciting and I'm really looking forward to it. The next book is City of Bones, the 10th anniversary edition, which is beautiful. But I actually bought myself the cheap version, and then I saw it on Amazon. It was like cheaper than the other one, so I was like, you cannot trick me, I'll buy the cheap one. But the thing is, it doesn't have golden pages. And I would have loved golden pages, but no. Then the next book is A Court of Winds and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas, which I still haven't read. Oopsies! It's been literally half a year since I've read Akamath. I didn't read this because I was so busy with school and with writing my own book. Whilst writing my own book, I prefer not to read because it tends to get in my head. Akawar should probably read this sometime. The last book I have here is The Language of Thorns by Leigh Bardugo, my queen, my goddess, my everything. And this is just a fairy tale collection all written by Leigh Bardugo, set in the Grishaverse. And I have the feeling that there is going to be a story about the Darklings. So yes, I'm so excited about that. I got this actually in the subscription box. I'll leave the link to the unboxing up there. I have a pile of contemporary books here, which I haven't read yet. So let's just start with The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. I've heard only great things about this book. Like, everyone keeps telling me how important this story is and that literally everyone needs to read it, so I bought it. Then I have We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. One little story, when I bought this and it arrived, there was like a Zoella sticker on it because it was like book club book of her once, and I was just like, I'm not here because of her. Like, I don't really have anything against her, I just like, I don't really watch any of the lifestyle YouTubers. I don't really know what it is about. It's really short though, so. Then I have Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, because I wanted to read more by Rainbow Rowell. Not because like Eleanor Park was the best thing ever, but because I just heard a lot of good things about these books, so I'm checking them out. The last book, contemporary wise, I have here is Grimm Gives Me Hiccups by Jesse Eisenberg. If you don't know who Jesse Eisenberg is, he's an actor who plays in some really great movies and I really like his roles. And I never knew he wrote until I stumbled upon some of his interviews, because I really like watching his interviews because he's like so witty and fast and smart, and it's hilarious, and he's really funny. Then he started talking about how he writes, and he sounded so sincere about it. And I once again don't want to sound like a total bitch, but actors and YouTubers writing books, I'm super critical about that, and I hate myself for being that critical about it, since I do act myself and I really enjoy acting, and I think I'm like fair enough in both of them. I can write somehow, I can act somehow, and I like doing both. And that's why I hate myself for being so critical towards books actors have written or YouTubers have written, because I'm always there like, do you really know what the hell you're doing? Like, the books sell anyway since they have a famous name there, and I mean that's the selling point, isn't it? So it's not really like the editing isn't as thorough as it is with solely authors who have to build everything up themselves, and their work gets completely torn apart and they have to work incredibly hard to get their book published. And then there's actors, and they're just famous, so their book gets published anyway, and it could be a load of crap and it will get published, and people will buy it because the person is famous. And I think that's the point which really bothers me, and that's why I'm critical about buying books from actors, or YouTubers for that matter. And biographies at the age of 20, I'm just like, what kind of crazy ass life are you living to be writing a biography at the age of 20? Sorry, just saying. Camera just died, so I'm sorry if the lightning or like anything is different, but Jesus Christ, my camera's a bitch sometimes. I was just talking about how I'm very critical about actors and YouTubers, but how I still decided to buy Jesse Eisenberg's book because he was so sincere about his writing, and when he talked about his writing, he really sounded like a writer more than an actor. So I thought I need to read something of him. The last category I have here is historical fiction. So the first book is The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. This book is said to be amazing. Everyone keeps commenting and telling me how absolutely fabulous this book is, and I'm so excited to read it, especially since we're getting closer and closer to the actual war in history at school, and oh, it's so interesting. So I'm so excited for this book. Then there is Salt to the Sea by Ruta Sepetys. I still don't know how to pronounce her name. Also World War II. I'm also super excited. I hope this is great. I heard it is great. I don't know what it's about, except World War II. And the last historical fiction book that I have here is The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee. And this is YA historical fiction, and I don't quite know which era, but it sounds like something 19th century-ish. Seems about right. I don't know what this is about. I just heard that it is great, so I want to read it. These were all my books. There are a lot, and I want to read them all, obviously, this year, and I'm so excited to read them. Just one little thing, I made myself a wand, and it's so cool. It's like really, like if you could actually see it, it's freaking beautiful, and I made it myself. I hope you enjoyed. Have a really nice day, and Knox.
Make me feel something.